he's doing an awesome job.
Look at that mouse
he's
movement.
waving. He's waving.
Look at that mouse movement.
Yeah, Waz, I love you, dude. I really do.
I think he's drawing a wiener, though.
Is that a dick with some balls?
I think he's drawing a wiener on there.
For those of you listening, we have a screen that's showing our live feed, which I hope you're watching on Facebook. But I can see like Waz's mouse from home, and he's like, I think it's like a dick and some balls.
I think that's a heart, actually.
Oh, it's a heart.
Yeah.
Balls, heart. What's the difference?
I mean, if you look at it from a certain angle, balls and a heart and a wiener.
So I know you got like one or two more for us, but just for shits, kicks, and giggles, I kind of want to try to do one of our duos. So what was we doing?
Do you really want to do this?
I really do.
Because I'm really bad at this.
Okay,
song.
first of all, I want to say this: you performed so well tonight that you're awarded like one kind of like messy doo-wop song.
Okay, well it's gonna definitely be this one.
Okay, let's go.
Here's my story. It's sad but true. It's about a girl that I once knew. She took my love and ran around with every single guy in town.
Dip, dip.
Whoa,
Dip,
whoa,
dip.
whoa.
Hey, oh.
I should have known it from the very start. This girl leave me with a broken heart. Now people listen what I'm telling you, yeah. Keep away from the runaround suit. Because that's looks and a smile on her face. Touch of the hand in a girl's warm embrace. Now if you don't want to cry like I do, yeah. Keep away from the runaround suit, hey, hey. Whoa, whoa, whoa. She likes to travel around. She'll love you, then she'll put you down. Now people let me put you out. She goes out with other guys. Here's a more other story from the guy who knows. I've been in love and my love still grows. Ask any fool that she ever knew. Say, keep away from the runaround Sue. Hey, keep away from that girl. I don't know what she'll do. Keep away from Sue.
Hey, run around Sue.
Very nice.
Okay.
Whoa.
I don't know. Too much.
No, it's okay.
What else we got for him?
I guess
This
I could
is
do
so much fun, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's the end of it, so I shouldn't play a super sad song. I have this dorky. It almost sounds like a church, like you would hear it at church.
Okay.
If you go to church, if somebody does that, I don't do that.
But then I used to once upon a time.
I feel like this, it's not, but sometimes when I'm playing it, it feels kind of like I'm singing a church song.
So for the record, so we don't get shut down, we don't own the rights to Run Around Sue.
No, but no one will.
We're okay.
I think we murdered it enough that no one will be.
Yeah. Yeah, Down syndrome Sue. That's what that was. No offense to
I'll take
you.
these off.
Yeah, let's rip them off.
Oh gosh, it's like the worst scenario. I gotta put it down through here.
Oh no, it's not the worst scenario. Trust me.
That's true. All right, because I think I'm good. I think I'm at a good.
I could be tripping on shrooms. You could be.
That's true,
You know,
but
I
you know what I
it
mean.
could
I
be a
haven't
lot
done
of-
it yet.
It could be a lot of worst case scenarios. Right
I'm
now.
not a very. I haven't been out there. I don't know the world. The world of drugs has not been open for me.
Good. Stay that way, sir.
So this song will go along with
Okay.
like my drug free.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
All right. Isn't it great that we are living? Isn't it great that we are living? Isn't it great that we are living this thing called life? Isn't it great that we've been given? Isn't it great that we've been given? Isn't it great that we've been given this thing called life? Don't you know it's your only one? Time to learn all you can. Time to have yourself some fun. 'Cause it's true, we're gonna be sad sometimes, yeah. But you're gonna waste the whole thing feeling that way. Isn't it great that we are living?
Isn't it great that we're living?
Isn't it great that we are living? Isn't it great that we are living this thing called life? Isn't it great that we've been given?
Great that we've been given.
Isn't it great that we've been given?
It's so great that we've been given.
Isn't it great that we've been
Oh yeah,
given
you know we've
this
been given this thing
called life? Oh, this thing that we call life. Oh, this thing that we call life. It's way too happy.
Are you kidding me? Too happy?
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably my happiest song.
There's no such thing.
I mean,
There probably is.
yeah.
No, never mind. What am I saying? I know so many people that are just I'm just like, whoa, cool down.
You know, it's so funny because I made that song after being like, one of my favorite artists was like, he kind of always like tells me some stuff about, you know, like what I can do to improve my songs.
Okay.
And he was like,
I didn't ask you, motherfucker.
The last thing, yeah, I know. He's like, the last thing you did, like, it didn't sound like it had a chorus. It sounds like a great verse, but it doesn't have a chorus. And I'm like, you're right. There's not a chorus in that. And then I wrote that because I'm like, why is this guy taking time out of his day to like give me music advice?
No, I love that though.
Yeah.
Because it's like I got that same I got some criticism for Cantina. I wrote a song called Cantina with my band Wyatt and the Ashes. And a very well respected musician here in town who I thought was just like, you know, like the shit, you know, would never
Right.
even listen to the song.
Yeah.
Was like, why doesn't this have a bridge?
Right.
And I go, well, it does have a bridge. He's like, no, you're playing the same 2 or 3 chords. You're just, you know, you did like a breakdown. You didn't really. And I'm like, well, that's just how I wanted to do it. And that's that. You know?
Yeah. But then then it's just like thinking about it. Like it helps you like go and be like, okay, it doesn't, you know, like you can see like.
And like, here's the thing, like, I'm so glad you brought this up. I want to talk about this for a minute, and we can keep the video rolling and everything. Because I only have one more song, and we'll probably close out with that song. So we'll chat for a minute. So I'm in Barnes and Noble about a month ago, right?
Okay.
And I always like to look up, you know, like music books and music theory books and like whatever, like just to see what's there. But I'm actually more into like, you know, autobiographies or biographies about artists and musicians and stuff.
Right.
Well, anyways, so you kind of like, you pass by this little section about how to write a song or how to write lyrics to a song, right? And there's like this formula. But like, who the fuck heard any song by the person who wrote that fucking book?
That's true.
Do you know what I mean?
I did. I'm a victim
like,
of buying those books because I just.
Oh, I own them too.
Yeah.
Don't,
and then I'm looking
dude,
through them. I'm like,
okay.
I don't know. There's nothing in here that's helping me.
Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I own the books too.
Yeah.
But like, no successful musician, I think, really like sticks to an exact formula.
No.
And you look at some of the most like popular alternative songs, like take REM, for example, right?
Yeah.
Losing My Religion. That song has no chorus. That song's like a 4-minute verse song.
That's true.
Okay. So, you know, you buy these or you see these like how to write a song type books, and it's like all like sing-songy, rhymey kind of things. And like, yeah, you know, once upon a time, I'm sure there was like an exact formula to like a church song or like, you know, a hymn. Right. You know, you stuck to the formula.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But like, that's the difference between like the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson didn't want to stick to a formula. The rest of the guys wanted to stick to the beachy songs, you know, but then he wrote Pet Sounds and everybody's like, this is garbage. stick to the formula. It's not how you write a song. But, you know, he heard things and understood emotions and feelings and things that, like, you can't always put art in a formula. You know what I mean? Like,
no, for sure.
I know tons of amazing artists here in town. Like, when it comes to painting, illustrating, you know, whatever. Like, even when I look at your stuff, I'm like, man, I wish my lines were clean. Or I look at other tattoo artists and people like that. I'm like, oh man, I wish I could do that. But like, something I've always kind of understood is that's the beauty of art, is the way that you do it and feel confident and comfortable about. That's exactly the way it's meant to be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, because like there's no doubt I look at other artists and go, man, how do they how do they do some of the stuff they do? Like the same thing, like word wise, it's like when I hear a good song and it has like words that make me stop and think, it's like I feel like those are the best words that. Yeah, it doesn't need a chorus sometimes, because sometimes those words are just like they ring a bell. I don't know. I think music, it's like, you know, it's why, like, you know, pop music is so popular, because it typically deals with what most people go through.
Absolutely.
You know, but like, if you're not
mainstream feelings for mainstream folks. Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But I've always appreciated an artist, and like, dude, like I'm pretty out there when it comes to like songwriting, and I think melodically, and I think like chord progression wise, like I'm pretty sing-songy, and I'm pretty like standard, maybe like punk or alternative. But like, I always love an artist that like shocks me lyrically. Yeah. That says something that like I'm afraid to say. And like when I hear somebody else go, oh, you know, I can't believe you said that.
For sure.
Like, it just warms my heart.
Yeah,
in a way.
No, totally.
And like it can be such a negative song though too. And like I'm like, wow, that really warmed my heart in such a way that's like, because here's the beauty, and like I dislike it when people knock me for listening to a lot of, dare I say, negative music, or like negative like music that's, you know, lyrically kind of like cynical.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I think the beauty of that is going, wow, somebody else feels that way.
Right. Well, and
I
like
think now I'm okay with who I am.
Well, that's the most.
I'm okay with me.
That's what music is about, though. It's about like I'm listening to it. Like, what am I getting from it? And that's my huge draw to music, is like someone experiencing like the same thing I'm going through, and a lot of life is depressing. So like, it's why you need depressing music, because you need to be showing that like you're not alone in this awful feeling you're feeling. Like.
Absolutely.
It's not abnormal to feel sad.
Right.
You know, like.
Right. And that's why, like, I hate genre labels like grunge or emo or things like that. Because I think genres like that is what killed these bands, is what killed a lot of the music, because when you put a label on it, it just kind of, like, destroys it.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, if you go back to original blues and, you know, you're talking about these old hymns that not only came from the church, but came from the fields, came from slavery. Right? I mean, real soul and real rock and roll came from the fields, right? I think we can agree on that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you want to talk about emo, all right? Everything's been emotional. Like, everything's been about feeling, you know what I mean? And, like, what's funny is, like, the genre that was deemed emo in the 2000s, I think, was, like, the poppiest and the most pop-punkiest sounding version of emotion, really.
Yeah, it was even off of the punk path. It was like more,
which was aggressive.
It was more like pretty sounding than what punk was. So it's like really like
that's true too. But it was also aggressive compared to mainstream. It was still kind of like fuck you. Yeah. Like Dashboard Confessional, for instance. Like I know like he's known mainly for like pretty sounding like acoustic stuff. But the first time I heard like his early EPs and like he's just like blaring like top of his lungs and like hitting that guitar, I'm like, that is the most punk rock thing I've heard lately.
Right.
At that time.
No, that time was different. What I mean? I was there.
You know, then he did
that.
Spider-Man 2 and then he did
Yeah. No, I don't like anything really like but they're all albums all the albums I grew up with, I was like holding on to them like they're sacred and there's nothing better than them.
Yeah.
And that took like so long to be like, I guess people are making music still, and I can maybe like go out and listen to it and not be like, oh, I have these like 10 albums that I can listen to every day for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know?
Right. And you know what? This show for me has been the thing that made me branch out. Believe it or not, even though I kind of stick to a few genres that I favor.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, like if everybody else is showing you this music and that music, I kind of feel like it's my job to show you this.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's got to be a pocket. There's got to be that weird dude that somebody comes to to like play, you know, certain things. And I think that's where I find home, and I find my pocket here with this alternative sound and like, you know, giving you like the latest pop punk and alternative hits and stuff like that, and bringing them awesome dudes like you who are ska based.
Well, I'm a little off base, but you know.
No, you're not. We speak the same language. Do we not?
We're in the same. We're in the same pool. I mean,
language.
that was what was great about the old punk ska.
Yeah.
I mean, emo kind of came in and ruined our punk ska scene, but
it ruined it. Yeah, I traded in my checkered Vans for some heart shape.
It was so bad because I remember going to shows and everybody was standing around, and I was like, "What happened to concerts?
Bullshit!"
Everybody's just standing there. I would bump into people, and people would look at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Are you crazy?
I'm skanking, motherfucker."
Yeah, to emo. Just get over it. I came here to dance, dude.
Now, let me tell you something, dude. Some of the most aggressive shows I've been to have been like Alkaline Trio, Take It Back Sunday. Like, I might have accidentally punched him.
Yeah. No, I think the start still had a lot of punk spirit, but it kind of morphed into this stand still and watch bands. I was like, I walked out of the club not sweaty at all. I was like, this is not okay.
So listen, buddy. Before
I'm throwing shade.
Before we close out,
yeah.
Right. I'm gonna close out with one more song, but before we do, I had a couple questions for you. Normally, I do like a 13 question type thing from the that was kind of like last season, whatever. But I'm just gonna ask you a couple before we sign off, and you know, I think the beauty of radio and the beauty of music is once you put something out there like this, it's somewhere forever.
And I'm worried about all of my past. All my past Radio Vegas shows are out there.
Well, I mean, hopefully you find something a little bit different here with me.
Yeah.
But there's a couple questions I want to ask you, and you can answer them any way you want. But you know, I like to get inside your mind and inside your heart, and I'd like my listeners to kind of be there too. Okay, so listen.
Whoa, dude!
I'm gonna ask you two questions before we say goodbye, and I sign off with this last song.
All right.
Okay. Question number 1: what do you think happens to you, Robert Stokes, when you die?
Nothing.
Nothing.
At all.
At all.
At all. You die. I've always believed that. I always believed that there's no heaven, there's no hell, and that we die.
Okay.
And that death. And I had put a huge weight on what death means for me, because when people die, I'm like, they're gone. They're gone forever. Like, they're not in another place. They're not, their brain is gone. Everything that
Do you believe that what you do now and here, though, like, does have an effect, and it does matter when you go?
I think, like, that's the bigger picture, is, like, everything you do in your life is your heaven or hell. Like, every decision you make is where you are.
So then can I ask you this again?
Yeah.
Then does something actually happen when you die?
No. Well, you were remembered by the people that loved you, to me.
Or hated you.
And what you did is there until you're forgotten. You know?
But is this life important?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Well, that's why like I fell into doing the daily songs, because I felt like I wasn't doing what I'm good at. I was just ignoring what I was good at and stepping away from it. And then realizing that, like, you know, like, life is short. Life is, like, you know, like, you can let it go by. Like, and you can miss all your opportunities, and you can miss everything that you can create or that you can do in life. And if you don't step up to the plate and do that, like, yeah, you didn't, your life is, you know, it's a precious thing. That's why I said that song's about, it's great that we're alive. It's great that, like, you know, our parents decided to have us, like, even if it's not a great situation or it's a horror, your parents suck, you know, like, at least you're here, and at least
you got a shot,
you know. Yeah, you get to do it. Just like any,
you know, being here in Las Vegas, Nevada, both being artists and musicians, we kind of won the lottery in a way.
Yeah,
we could be anywhere.
We could be ants. Right? We could have been stepped on a long time ago, or we could have been eaten by an owl as a little mouse. You know what I mean? Like, all life is a cycle.
Now, final question. You might have already answered it in a way, but I'd like a recap.
Yeah.
If you were on your deathbed, which we know you're not going to be.
Yeah.
anytime soon, right?
Well, hopefully.
No,
no
yeah,
COVID.
I'm not wishing anything negative here. But if you were on your deathbed, right? You're 38 years old,
Yeah,
and you still got a lot of life to live, right?
probably.
But with all the experience, honestly, with all the experience that you have been through, whether it's been happy or hurt,
yeah.
what do you think what's the last message? What's the last thing that you would like to tell the world? What have you learned thus far that you think is the most important? Your daughter's there, your family's anybody
know.
important listening, like you had that last thing.
Yeah.
I mean, take a minute.
Well, I mean, it would be that, like, don't waste your talent. Like, I mean, talent is a rare thing anyways. I mean, how many times I feel like people are like, oh, I wish I could draw. I wish I could play guitar. I wish I could play music. And it's like, if I don't do those things, like, like it's like maybe I need to be wishing that I could play guitar. I could do that. Like, why am I wasting like my time? And it's like my daughter, I always encourage, because she draws really good, and I forced her kind of to draw, but I taught her things that I wish I was taught. Like, I showed her things that I wish someone could show me, because I draw in a way that I can't break. It's like when you draw a certain way, you create a style, which almost like locks you into it.
Right.
So like, my message to my daughter all the time, and my message to anybody is like, don't waste your time. Like, it's easy to sit and spend 2 hours at what you're good at because you're good at it. You're going to make something.
And if you don't know what you're good at, try and find something that just brings you happiness, right?
Right. The same thing. Like, even if just watching a TV is like your thing and you don't do it enough.
Right. Yeah, no.
Why not? I mean,
I support that.
We're all different, and we all can't be talented. But, if you write poetry, or if you fill up a journal, or do something that like anybody can do, and then maybe you realize like something about yourself that you're not, I get in tune with yourself, because you're only you.
You guys heard it. Robert Stokes, thank you so much, brother, for being here. No, honestly, man, I've been getting to know you lately, and it's been a joy and a privilege to jam with you and get to know you. No, for real. And I look forward to more future projects with you. Guys, thank you very much. This has been the Haunted Saloon, live from Las Vegas, Nevada, here on Radio Vegas.